Hello. Welcome to another podcast
What up, people?
from Pick City. It's baseball time, baby. We are here. It is opening week. We are only a few days away from the games. You may have even already saw games by the time you watch this. 3 days from now, we'll be watching opening day. We'll be watching the opening pitches from every team in the league playing. But today, Teddy, tell them what we got for them.
So today we're going to be doing our American League division/playoffs predictions.
Yeah. All right. LA, AL. Yeah. We're gonna keep it pretty simple. No real big twist with this. We will keep up with this, and basically it's just a point system. There's 30 teams. You get every single one right. You get 30 points. If you think we should weight division winners more or playoff teams more, let us know in the comments. Let us know. But we're just going same order we drafted. Hopefully you guys watch the drafts. We'll have updates to that coming out as well. If you haven't seen that, it's linked with that. But enough of that. Let's stay focused. Simple predictions here. Going through each division and just kind of saying who we have 1 through 5. We'll obviously discuss each of the teams and kind of our overall view. So this will just be the American League predictions. We have National League coming out actually on opening day. So I'm ready, Teddy. Are you ready?
Teddy's ready.
Teddy's ready. And as of course, I am one of your hosts, Zachary Ivy. And that is my good friend right there.
Teddy Eller. It's me.
Teddy.
It's me. Still me.
Not the goat.
Also, I want to say really quick, we will be, I don't know when we'll be releasing it, but we will have a 1 through 30 power ranking of these teams.
Yeah,
so don't be too mad if your team is ranked 5th in their division or whatever. And, power rankings, they might be higher than you expect. There's a little spoiler alert.
Yeah, we are just doing the divisions 1 through 5. Good point there. But we will do our power rankings and we will update those. We're trying to figure out exactly the format for that. But we will not update any of this other than just saying what we predicted. Obviously, a lot of things have happened. There's constantly trades. There's been trades right before this. There'll probably be trades. There free agents still haven't signed yet at this point as we're recording this. But most of the notable ones have. A couple still lingering names. But
couple injuries and, the one that finalized right before recording, or not finalized, but just reported, was cease to the Padres. So,
yes, and
might change a couple things, might not.
Just to update you, the odds actually did switch. And by the way, we're not telling you what you should or should not do, but I will give you some odds on different things, some parlays if you would want to pick all your division winners, see what you could potentially make if you're into that kind of thing. But Teddy, that division is now back up and updated, and I think there was a change. So
Fangraphs does not have it updated for them yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to that. I think I'm just sticking with what I got, and we'll live to see. But we'll start with the division that we usually do, and that is the American League East. Teddy, I think we should start at the bottom. What do you think about that?
I like that. Work our way up.
All right.
Started from the bottom.
Where are we now?
6.
Okay, we didn't make it.
This is a Drake reference. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought we were going to say we're here in the morning, but instead you said some other things. Hopefully no one heard.
Okay. Just hold on. We're going home. I don't know. All right.
Let's turn this thing upside down like a 9. Okay. In 5th place in the American League East, you know what? I'm going first. I'm not even asking you. I have the Boston Red Sox.
Okay. I also have the Boston Red Sox.
Okay, so we can discuss that. I was going to say.
So that's okay. And that was what my spoiler was going towards. If you're a Red Sox fan, the power rankings actually have them higher than you would probably think, me putting them fifth. I just think this is an incredibly tough division. So,
it is a tough division. They also have had, in my opinion, a very lackluster all season. Really, their best move was getting Lucas Giolito, and he instantly got injured and is out for the season.
Right, I was actually excited about seeing Giolito at Fenway, but
I like him a lot. There's
guess not.
parts and pieces of this Red Sox team we both like, especially offensively. I think they're still trying to figure out who exactly they have and what they want to do at a few different positions, but they usually do a pretty good job of not taking too long to rebuild. I just don't trust this current year's Red Sox team. I actually trust them less than I did last year, where I also had them picked fifth in their division. For those of you that really kept up with me, but yeah, I just don't like a lot of what I see. There's some good things. I like Brian Baya. Some people call him Bella.
Hey,
But
signed a big extension.
yeah, so I'm saying
That's
good
hype.
movement. He's good for
Yeah.
the future. Devers
I like
great.
Vaughn Grissom at second base. I think he's exciting. I think he's 1 year away from really taking off.
Yeah, let
So
me tell you, Alexander actually commented to me and said something that we should have been looking at for our AL East draft. I'll try to find out while you maybe some things you dislike about the Red Sox. We need to compare them.
yeah, it's no hate towards the Red Sox. Like I said, when the power rankings come out, you're actually going to be feeling a lot better about them. I will say, Trevor Story worries me. I think he still has that good ball player in him, but just health concerns, and I mean, can you really trust him? Tyler O'Neill, like with him with the bat, I'm not worried about him in the field, especially in left field at Fenway. Like that'll be nice, but it's just the bat scares me. And then we're not sure about their center fielder. I'm trying to get his pronunciation up because I don't want to butcher it, and I know I will if I just off the cuff with it.
Yeah, and also speaking of somebody with the Red Sox, their DH Alexander did thank me for making it clear to everyone he does not like to be called the shortened version of his name. I think it's like a Japanese culture thing. Their last names are more like, I don't know the exact word. They have more reverence towards their last names, and so they don't want to like have a nickname.
Who are you talking about?
I feel like this is
Talking about
true.
Macho Man?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay. So they don't have the last name pronunciation for this guy, but his first name is Sadon Rafaela, is my guess. Rafaela. But yeah, he's just such an unknown. It's just one of those things that I think that's just how the young guys are for this team, and it just, it kind
Yeah.
of worries me. Their pitching is not
Oh,
fantastic. Bayo's a stud. I think he's only going to get better.
hopefully.
But then after him, you got Nick Pivetta, maybe Cutter. Cool name, but
Great name.
it's just one of those. It's just their pitching staff worries me more than anything else, especially with Giolito going down. I was very excited about him.
Yeah, and I don't know
Unfortunate.
the contract situation, but I think Pivetta could obviously be dealt. Marcelo Mayer is who Alexander said to keep your eyes on. So for your Red Sox fans, that's who he's wanting this year to really show something. But Teddy, we do have every team to go over in this whole thing, so I may not spend the entire time on the Red Sox, but we do want to show a little respect towards them. However, if I'm being honest, I don't know where they are in my 30. Obviously, looking in the American League, there's some really bad teams, so I would have them over, but in this division, they're
Right.
fit to me. And
Right.
I maybe could see a world in which they're fourth. It may be third if everything clicks. All right. Fourth. Already, this is where I think we may be a little different.
I agree.
Okay. I have the Tampa Bay Rays.
I also have the Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was a 50%. I think there was two teams there. Yeah.
Correct.
A
Definitely
team
2 teams.
kind of known for the just doing things a little weird and quirky. Like they have the openers, they have the relievers at the beginning of games, right? Like they have kind of like an old age team in a new world. They piece things together, but they lost some pieces. Like I know he hasn't fully put together a season, but Glasnow always gave them hope. Like
Yeah.
I just don't see enough of this team. Honestly, they're the murky situation with whatever exactly legally happened. They're without one of their brightest stars at shortstop is no longer going to be playing. I would assume he won't touch the field this year for them if ever again. That's all sound that, but I just look at this roster and I think, I mean, if I had to bet on Boston or Tampa for the next 5 years, I'm going Boston.
Yeah, I
think
completely
they're better
agree.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I completely agree. And talking about pitching staffs, the Rays, Man, I think they have a worse pitching staff than Boston. I just
Um,
think that,
Eflin.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they're ace, but I mean,
No, that
Bayo's
was
a
the Red
stud.
Sox.
That's what the Red Sox got. Like, they got one guy
Okay.
that I trust, really. It's
Yeah,
just
but
one
I
of those
trust
things.
Eflin way more. Like, I don't. All right. Anyway, I'm just saying that's
It's
the
just
issue.
one of those things. I think offensively, they have more solid players towards the top of their lineup than Boston does. And I think in the end, the Rays somehow just always punch above their weight. And while I think this year their weight is like, you know, lower than it normally is, I think that they're still going to be competitive. I think this is
They're
just a
always.
really good division.
Shellshock Cole, he always says that one of the worst places to be is Major League. He was just kind of right in the middle where you're good enough to compete, but not good enough to actually win, and it's hard to get out of that. Yeah, I just don't see them being really bad either. They're going to win a lot of games, but not enough. Yeah. So I agree with you there. And I'm assuming third we have the same team, or do you think this is going to be?
I think it's the same team. I don't think we got greedy with that.
Yeah, shouts out Drizzy.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Potentially Joey Votto emergence for the Toronto Blue Jays at third. We'll see if he can represent Canada. Canada. This is a weird team to me because in some ways I look at it when this team's gonna freaking hit, this team's gonna pitch, but it just doesn't. They're like, I don't know, they're like a car that just has all the right parts, but when it tries to go, it always breaks down. Something's wrong with it.
I agree. Like, I don't know what it is, but
Just
just looking at the lineup and looking at the bullpen, it just does something for me. I don't know. Like the players just they move the needle.
I like them. I like them a lot.
Whenever I went into this, whenever I was looking through the teams, I was setting up, like my predictions and everything. I was surprised by how much I liked the Blue Jays this year. Like, obviously, sucks that they have the other two teams in this division that we'll get to, but I like them. I'm actually excited about their lineup. Like, yeah, it's just something
Yeah.
about them, man.
And, we listen to a lot of similar podcasts and everything. Shouts out to all of them. But they
Just
kind of have a decent amount of arms that they can kind of figure it out and not really suffer, it seems. But I think
Gosman's a
they're going to
stud.
hit. I
Yeah,
think they're
Gosman's
going
a
to hit.
stud.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah.
like a top, no split, but he's like a top 4 or 5 Cy Young.
I'm excited about the Vladdy resurgence this year.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is a chance like the young guys were good, and none of them have really like taken a big jump up. They just are what they were, if not lessened a little. So I mean, that is
I'm a huge Bo Bichette fan. Huge Bo Bichette
Yeah.
fan. I think he's, getting better every year. I'm excited about him.
Dude rakes. Yeah, I mean, I
He
like this team a lot,
rakes.
but I just couldn't put them over the other two, and I couldn't put them below. I think third is where they had to be.
I agree.
All right. Okay. So, do you think we disagree on this one?
I do.
Okay, I do as well. Again, there was news announced recently as we recorded this. Garrett Cole is going to be missing 1 to 2 months. But let's rewind a little bit into the season. Oh no, baseball's so far away. Fast forward, please. Okay, thank goodness. All right, now we're back in real time. The Orioles had a starting pitcher also lost who was incredible last year, right after they traded for Corbin Burns. And it seemed like kind of a setback. I don't know the length of his absence either. Let's just assume that him and Cole.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I can try to look it up and see
Okay.
when Kyle Bradish will be back.
So, yeah, I mean, he was very, very good last year.
Yeah.
And, adding Corbin Burns, they were going for it. The Yankees, Rodon struggled last year, but they had Stroman. The Yankees also go out and add Juan Soto. Orioles just are younger and getting better. Gunnar Henderson going to have a full year. Jackson Holiday, we'll see if he starts out the year in the big leagues. I mean, he's going to be on this roster at some point, if not already guaranteed to be there. I like so much about both these teams. I think both have pretty good bullpens. The Yankees starting pitching is better now. Both get hit kind of all over the place. Glaber producing for the Yankees at second base. What are some things you like about both these teams, Teddy? I just said a lot right there without really revealing which order I have either.
Well, I think that I mean, obviously for the Yankees, I'm super excited about Soto going to that team, joining Judge and Alpha. That's crazy. That tandem right there is just insane. I really hope they bat Soto ahead of Judge, since Soto is an on-base just machine. Um, Fangraph's projected lineup so far has him batting second, but I mean, the Yankees. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's the bats for both of these teams. Obviously, you have Corbin Burns on one side and you have Garrett Cole on the other. Like exciting pitching, but the bats, they're the ones that do it. You have the proven guys, like more not the veteran because they're actually still young on the Yankees. Those proven guys like Glaber, Judge, and Soto, who we were just talking about. And then you got those kind of young bucks on the Orioles. Gunnar Henderson's exciting. Adley, of course. Cedric, always their leadoff guy.
Roll humps, baby.
Shuts out, roll humps. And it's just like they're both really good teams hitting, and they're both good teams with good pitching behind them. I think that they're both, spoiler alert, I think they're both going to make the playoffs. I think that it's just a tough division, and we'll get to who I think edges it out in my mind.
All right. I wish I had like a great reason for why I chose one over the other, but they are very similar, even though if you think about the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles, just,
Yeah, I mean, our lifetime, like, growing up, it was just one had a negative stigma and one had this prestige to it.
yeah. But like right now, the Orioles, like last year, they were a fun team. Everybody kind of liked them. We're rooting for them. They did well, but like kind of fell short. I, I'm very. What was the differentiating factor for you?
Honestly, it just came down to the lineup. And I'm talking about 1 to 9. And also those top guys are just different. I think that, do you want me to just go ahead and say it? Because I don't know how to say it without saying it.
I don't care if you say. I was just wondering if it was just the starter or if it was like depth. If it was, so they have coming in. You know what? I'm gonna let you talk. I have to get a blanket. I'm about to freeze to death. So
You're good. I'm going to go ahead and say it then. So,
okay.
what I have, you don't want me to say it?
I want you to talk about, and then I'll find out.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can hear me, Zachary, but I'll tell the people about Kyle Bradish. It's just talking about how he's going to start the year on the IL, which is expected. But good news is they are prepping him, at least as of the second week of February, prepping him for a lot of action this year. Who knows what the hell that means? Just a lot of action. So, shouts out Kyle Bradish. I hope he's back soon. He's electric. Yeah, I'm ready to get these 1 to 2 over with.
Yeah, and I will say, this division was far more intriguing than the other American League ones to me as a whole. So I do think we're spending a little more time on this. But we're actually fine. Time-wise, we're good. We're about an hour up. We're fine. All right, drop it on me.
All right, so finishing first, winning the division in the American League East, I have the New York Yankees. I thought about changing it after the Garrett Cole news because, you can estimate he's going to miss about 10 starts. Yes, Zachary.
I have a question, but continue. I won't forget.
All right. I just think that the differentiator for me was not the pitching. Like, it's not like the 1 through 9, really. It's just those top guys. I think that Adley, Gunnar, they'll be there eventually, but Judge and Soto, I think that those two, with Glaber having a very strong bat right behind them, I just can't ignore that. I don't know if it's just my excitement to see Soto and Judge back to back. It's just, I truly believe in the Orioles. I think that Jackson Holliday, very, very young. Obviously, we don't know what he's going to do at the major league level. Jordan Westberg, very, very young. I think that he I mean, he's fresh. He doesn't even have a year of service time. Um, he's not even close. I think that the Orioles have the exciting prospects and the exciting future. Not saying the Yankees don't, but it's just it can go too many different ways for me. The Yankees, I feel more secure about them winning the division.
I'm going to make my question into a statement. I think you're a coward. I think that you were scared that the first pick you could make is a team that you love, one of your favorite players, two of your favorite, probably top 5 players in the league, non-Phillies, are on. And you didn't want it to be like, oh, you're just taking with your heart. And I think that's why you and the Yankees. I think it's more about you love the Orioles so much you pick the Yankees.
I mean, you're kind of onto something, I guess. I don't
Because
know.
that's exactly what I did. Yankees are in the division. I wanted to pick the Orioles. I hate that we picked the exact same. I thought the bottom 3 would be the same. I just really thought you would be all in on the Orioles. When they traded for
there
Corbin
might
Burnes,
be.
you can go back and look. I said Orioles already were leaning this way for me. Not spoil anything, but I think the Yankees are going to get out to a quicker start. Garrett Cole's a huge loss. Cy Young winner, dominant. I think people don't understand how good he actually is still because
Right.
he's not the most likable for a lot of people. I am all in on the Yankees this year.
Yeah, listen. I think you were onto something because I am very excited about the Orioles. I am very excited about them this
We're
season.
cowards.
I think they're going to be very good. Yeah, in the end, I went with the safer pick.
Look,
Go Birds.
I would normally say I hope I'm right, but I'll be honest with you, Teddy. I might have parlayed all the people I picked to win the divisions into one. So I don't know if I'm really cheering for them or not.
I mean, I hate to tell you, but any of those series, I'm pulling for the Orioles.
All right. I wish I could say I am. Okay. That is our American League East. Again, exact same order. New York Yankees, Baltimore Orioles, Toronto Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays, Boston Red Sox. Now, it is time for everyone's favorite division in baseball, the American League Central. Want to shout out to the few people that did watch or listen or suffer through the American League Central draft. It was by far the worst of the 6.
Chest out.
Also the worst division. So, Teddy, we did it on purpose. Teddy, I'm going to let you lead the way with this one.
All right. I'm going to be pissed if we have the same 1 through 5 for this division. But I'd also be lying if I said I don't think that we do. If there's one division I think that we have the same, it's the American League Central. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. So at number 5,
I think we have 2 flips.
Okay. At number 5, I have the Chicago White Sox. I had them fifth. I had them fifth before the Dylan Cease trade, and now that they've just traded away their ace, the really only redeeming quality to them, except for La Pantera, Luis Robert, I mean, this team has just gone from bad to worse. It's
2 years.
I don't know what they got back from the Padres, but it's not Machado. It's not Tatis. Egg in my face if it is, but the White Sox, oh my goodness. You want to talk about a couple years ago, people were talking about them being World Series winners with the core that they had. That's long gone.
Dude,
they have a long road ahead of them before they even become, competitive for their division. It's bad. It's bad for the Chicago White Sox.
Look, I'm not trying to circle back too much. I love the Orioles roster. I like that they're under new management. There's still a part that has these blocks for people. Dude, the White Sox are just this organization. Why would you ever believe in them?
And I could be way off, but I don't even think their farm system's good. I think they've actually screwed it up even in their farm system.
Dude, their fans were happy a few years ago because everything looked good right then, but now they're without. I have one fond White Sox member. Mark Burley, throwing a no-hitter. They do a defensive substitution to put Dwayne Wise in the 9th inning, and he jumps up on the wall and catches it, saves a no-hitter. That's the only thing I got. And I kind of like this black and white. I also like how their field's very symmetrical if you look at it, especially over the show. Love that.
I wish they'd pull in the fence a little bit, though. I also love La Pantera. And I remember watching Lou Bob at the Dash
He's an Ivy
Stadium a few times. He's hype. I love him. Um, and Eloy Jimenez rakes. All right, I said all the nice things I could say about them. That's
Yeah,
literally it.
Chicago White Sox. I'll believe that.
Right. So is that your fifth?
Yeah, I mean they're actually 6 out of 5
Yeah, I like
because the
that.
other teams all have at least some more positives. I will give
Right.
ALC to that.
All right. Fourth. Now, I struggled with 3 and 4 in this division so much. Zachary, I was wrestling. Um, it might surprise you. I thought going into it, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it because I don't know how else to say it. Fourth, I have the Detroit Tigers. I don't know. I'm so excited for them.
Petty.
Parker Meadows, Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson. They are exciting players, young players. Yes, I agree.
I just want to say I thought that when I said we had 2 flip, I thought it was going to be because you believed in the Tigers more than me.
Dude, I thought I did believe. Well, I do.
You're
Okay,
Mr.
hold on.
Tiger.
I believe in some of the Tigers. Al Kaley, shouts out. RIP. Actually, I don't know if he's dead.
Let's take a moment.
RIP either way.
Moment
I
of
hope if
silence
he is
either.
alive, he's
Hey,
sleeping
moment of silence
peacefully.
either way. And I'm going to use the editor to cut out silences, so it's going to see if I can
Tarek Skubal is a fantastic ace. Fantastic pitcher. Very excited about him. But after that, I mean, Kenta Maeda is kind of exciting. Jack Flaherty's it's just their pitching lets them down. I think their bullpen is weak. And I think that it's just also looking at their lineup, I'm excited about their top 3 guys, Meadows, Green, and Torque. And that's about it. Like,
Yeah.
I thought whenever I was looking at those 4 people, Meadows, Torque, Riley Green, and Skubal, that I was going to be all in on the Tigers this year. And then I looked deep. They still have Javi Baez at shortstop, by the way. Just throwing that out there. No hate. I don't hate players. But oh my goodness.
Look.
Dude, he's projected to barely get above 600 OPS.
No, he's not good. Here's what I want to say. Detroit fans,
That's a compliment to him.
Unleash your fury against Teddy. All 3 of you go at him. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know the fan base of them. Sorry to cut you off, but I didn't really want to hear you just sit here and bash my Tigers. I'm actually gonna say where I have them picked. I'm gonna talk about who I have.
Okay.
Also, Tigers fans, I just want to say one thing. Don't let me forget. I have a player for you that I love. Fourth, this is a team I also thought you were a little higher on than I was. Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
I don't hate their team. I don't think their roster is incapable. Their pitching is like every single person is a coin flip.
Except for one.
Okay. Which is?
Dragons.
Okay. Oh, you mean the positive. Okay, sorry. I thought for some reason
I don't think he's a coin flip. I think it's just like
that's fair.
How good is he going to be this year? Is it going to be good or very good?
Is he an ace? Is he a strong 2? Is he their ace?
Right.
He is like, she's a 7 in LA, but it
barely has a year of MLB service time, like 26 years old. You haven't even seen the beginning of him, and he's already.
They have a lot of youth there where Vinny Pescantino can really get on base. I like the way he approaches.
Love Pack, love Witt, love Melendez.
I mean, Bobby
Salvi is just a nice guy to have, nice veteran presence. Like,
right, he can help the young guys. I just don't think they're really going to compete, but I don't think they're as bad as the White Sox. I will say this is also my least confident division. So while I go through these next few, I think all these teams could be within 8 wins of each other. I don't actually believe that. I think they're a little below the other 3. But I just have them that low. And if Kansas City hates me and Detroit hates you, I guess that's the life we have to live. And yeah, maybe I'm biased because I don't really like Kansas City in general. Their other sports win enough for them. I'll say it.
Yeah, so off of that, I'll go ahead and tell you my third. The one I was wrestling over who to put third, who to put fourth with the Tigers. But ultimately, what edged it out was the Royals. They are third.
Okay.
And it's just because while I had, Parker Meadows, Riley Green, Torque, and Scooble for the Tigers, I'm excited about Melendez, Witt, VPAC, Michael Garcia, Isbell, and Cole Reagans. Like, it's just, there's more excitement for me in the roster for the Royals. And maybe it's their colors, too. I don't know.
I mean,
I
the
like their
light blue and white
colors.
blue is
They
nice.
excite me. They excite me. And
That
maybe that
last
World
technique
Series
is very
win is still just in my head. But
yeah.
I believe in, and when I say I believe in them finishing middle of their division, which a lot of people will take as a compliment to the Royals because, I mean, you have them finishing fourth, and you even said you don't see them catching up to the top three, so you don't even believe in them to even be close to the Tigers. So
I could see
I
them finishing third.
I
I can't
think
see them
that
finishing fifth. But what I will
yeah,
say
I'm excited about the Royals. I'm excited to see them
yeah,
play,
here's where we're
and
different.
yeah,
I'm far more
man.
excited about this Tigers lineup than in Royals.
Yeah, see, I'm different. I'm
Yeah,
so different on that.
that's fair. You're forgetting about a key part of the Tigers, but it's fine.
I know who you're talking about, and there's a reason I left him off because
Okay.
I did a little bit more of a deep dive on him, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. But
I don't have to. He will win games.
we'll see. That'll be something that we'll have to revisit over the
All
course
right.
of the
So
year.
again, both have White Sox fifth. We have
Yep.
Royals. I have Royals
And
fourth.
Tigers swapped.
You have Tigers fourth. I have not said
Tigers.
I'm third yet. For the record.
Okay.
In third, I have the Cleveland Guardians. I'm not trolling you. I'm not messing with you. Look, this is a team, and maybe I'm just anti old movements because I mean I did the same thing with the Rays. They've had these factories where they're just somehow able to just replenish and replenish. I think this year where they start to fall off. Obviously, Jose Ramirez, great, incredible. I don't know if Tanner Beebe is going to continue what he was. I think Bieber's probably going to get dealt. I don't know if they're going to trade him or not. They continue to do this just cycle of being mediocre, and I think it's about time they fall down. And I think, and again, spoiler alert, I have a different team above them that I haven't said yet. You thought I had them third easily, and that's what I'm saying. You don't respect the Tigers, which is okay. But I will say I'm going out more on a limb with this that I think Cleveland's going to fall. I just don't see a situation they're going to continue to do this for the rest of my life. Eventually, they're going to have to go down or up winning. They're not going up this year. What have they done to really get a lot better? Nothing.
I don't think that you're going to have a worse pick in any of these predictions. I don't think you could. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
I like the Guardians this year. I really do. J-Ram and Jimenez are absolute studs. Bieber and Bibby are good pitchers.
Do you think Bieber's on their team at the end of this year?
I mean, if I'm making these predictions with the team that they have is the team they're going to have.
I think
why am I going to predict for these teams and just be like, well, if they trade this person, we don't know.
Because they do this
We're not the
all the
GMs.
time. They do this
All
all
right.
the time.
That's fine.
I'm over this team. All right. I'll put on.
You do that.
I'm done with the Cleveland Guardians.
That's fine. You be done with them. I'm not out on them. Cleveland fans, just know I'm not out.
Free Jose.
Shouts out LeBron. I'm a real fan. All right. I'll go with my number 2.
Okay.
Minnesota Twins.
Okay.
So you know what that means? The team I have winning this division is the Cleveland Guardians. Now, It was very close between them, but I look at the Guardians and, I get a little excited. Get a little, I start feeling it.
They got some guys.
And
I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean, they do. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's one of those things that the Twins, can I just say something? I like players. I'm a players guy. People keep talking about Buxton as if like, oh, I just want him to be healthy. Please just be healthy this year. It doesn't matter if he's healthy. He's Byron Buxton, not of 4 years ago. He's Byron Buxton as of the last couple years. Like, he's healthy, okay? He's healthy. What does that mean? Like, I think that outside of that, you have Carlos Correa. Yes, he's exciting. Royce Lewis. Yes, he's exciting.
But
He's very good. Royce Lewis is a stud. I like Max Pepper because, German gang. But, like, I don't believe in Julian. I don't believe in Buxton. Like, outside of that, Max Wallner, I don't really believe in him either. And outside of their pitching, Pablo Lopez is a very good pitcher.
very good.
Don't believe in Joe Ryan. Don't believe in
I
Ober.
don't believe in Joe Ryan. Okay.
Like, their bullpen's good. I'll give them this. Their bullpen's good. Duran's a stud. Brock Stewart, Griffin Jacks,
Very
they're good
good.
players. They're really good. But, like, their lineup just doesn't move the needle for me the way that the Guardians does. Like, I'm very excited about this Guardians lineup. You know I'm higher on Stephen Kwan than you. J-Ram and Jimenez are two of the best infielders in the league, not just in this division, not just in the American League, just in total just baseball. And I think defensively, they have a stud group out there in the outfield with
They have a very
Kwan,
good defense.
Laureano, Miles Straw. And then let's talk about pitching. I believe in Shane Bieber. I believe in Tanner Bibby. I do. I think Tristan McKenzie is one of those young guys that is ready for the next step, and I think that he's going to take the next step.
And I'm
And
rooting for
so,
him. I want that to be clear. I'm not rooting against these guys. That is one thing I want to make clear in these predictions. I don't want to be wrong. Obviously, someone has to finish fifth, fourth, third, second. I'm not rooting
Right.
against you for my predictions. That is one thing we want to make clear as a pod. You're not wanting these players to fail just because you don't believe in them. You're trusting your eyes. You're trusting the metrics. You're trusting what you feel. But I'll be honest with you. I do have the Tigers finishing second, just so people are clear. I think the Twins hang on for another year. This is where I think the power ranking is going to be clear. I don't think the Twins are that great either. These teams don't hit. This division doesn't really hit like that.
I'll say this. In my
I think
power rankings of 1 through 30, I don't have the Guardians top 10. I
Okay.
don't.
Fair.
So it's not like I'm like big on this horse of Guardian sneaky World Series pick. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the
I'm agreeing.
Guardians, you're talking about how like you're worried about them trading one piece. Bro, I think they have a lot of talent on this team, way more
this
than
is
you
the
would
year they
think if
fall
you
off.
actually look into it. And that's all I'm saying. I think the
But what
Twins,
happened last year?
I mean, dude, you could say that argument about a lot of things. We're high on the Yankees. We both have the Yankees winning their division, but last year they finished, what, fourth?
They made great moves. What did the
Look,
Guardians
they
do?
brought in Soto. Great. I'm saying that the Guardians, who says they can't just get better? A lot of these guys are young. A lot of them are going to have improvement. And I think
We'll
the
see.
Twins just don't have that. Like, they
Well,
have
they'll play good.
Royce Lewis, who is a fantastic player, but even with Royce Lewis, he's not a better third baseman than J-Ram.
No, I mean they
Now,
have
I don't want to
other.
go position for position, but like,
That's fair.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. I am excited about the Guardians this year. I really do think that they're going to surprise
Now,
people.
in
Everyone
Rudy's interest,
everyone is shooing in the Twins as the division. I don't know the odds. You would have to tell me the odds. But
All right.
everyone is shooing in the Twins as the AL Central Division winners. I feel
They
like
are-
that's just, and it's just like, that's crazy.
They are the favorite. They're minus 115, so they are the favorite, not just favorite, but they're actually very
Pretty
much
ahead. Kind of
But,
sounds like the Mets a few years ago.
Yeah, well,
We saw how that went.
not sure why you're being defensive, but the
I'm
Guardians.
just passionate.
I will say this: the Guardians and Tigers both have the same odds. So if you believe either of those to win and the Twins will fall off, decent money there, plus 250. Yeah, I just think the Twins hold on for at least another year. I'm not a huge Twins guy, and again, if it's about fan interest, I'd have the Tigers first. I want them to click and ball out.
I like the Tigers. I think that the
Who would
Tigers
you have, the
are.
Royals?
Yeah, I have the Royals. I think the Tigers and the Royals are in similar spots in their franchise,
Agreed.
really relying on those young guys.
Yeah, I
And
wish
I
I
give
could-
the young guys more of an edge to the Royals.
Hey,
But
man,
look, I
Tigers.
would love for
Colt Keith,
both of
that's
those
the
teams
guy.
to take off. Do what?
Detroit Tigers. Believe in Colt Keith. Ride with the guy with me. Let's
Believe
cheer
in
for him together.
the other guys, Riley Green, Parker Meadows,
All right.
Torp. Just take your pick. Don't hit your wagon to Colt Keith.
So we're both out on the White Sox. We actually think the Royals and Tigers are very similar. You just push one way, I push the other.
Right?
The biggest difference is just I'm projecting the Guardians to finally fall off that cliff, and you're like, well, the Twins have barely even been up a mountain anyways. It's more like a plateau.
Man, I even am looking at the Guardians lineup again. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, not sneaky World Series pick or anything, but
Hey, I'll say this: there's a chance for one of us to make a lot of points in this.
it's a good lineup, man.
We get nothing for the White Sox finishing fifth, but those other four, that's points for both of us.
And
Fine.
defensively, I like this Guardians lineup too.
Now,
Defense
if
matters.
you
Hashtag,
real quick,
hashtag.
if you are a White Sox fan, they're at plus 4,000. So if you think they have a chance to win the division, incredible odds. That's actually crazy.
If you do think that, though, I'd recommend seeing a psychiatrist. But
Okay, moving on to one of the better, at least tops, maybe even full divisions in baseball as well. Let me ask you a question really quickly.
oh yeah, ask away.
This will kind of give away our fifth team. I'm assuming we have the same. If not, I think we should see how.
Yeah, I think we have the same.
Also, worst odds of any team to win, they're at plus 20,000. So,
Hey, worst odds of any team to win, and I have them as 30th in my power rankings.
okay, yeah. Okay, I mean, I haven't done mine yet, but I can say I do as well. Now, here's what I will say.
Safe bet. Yep.
If you had to pick just 5-on-5, right, playing a game of basketball, you get the 5 AL East teams or the 5 AL, ignore the basketball. 5 AL West teams versus 5 AL East teams. Which division do you think is just better overall? I guess you can just look at your power rankings and see.
I am looking at my power rankings.
Is their anchor just so much lower?
Oh my gosh. Their anchor is so much lower. I think the rest, let's just go ahead and call them out. The Athletics. I think the Red Sox and the Athletics, I think the Red Sox are so much better than the Athletics.
Yeah. I mean, I do think they lost.
So much better. And I think that while the top of the AL West, if it was 4-on-4, I'd say AL West, easy.
Okay.
I think that's how much the Athletics drags them down that it can even be a conversation.
I was just kind of saying, we talk about the AL East is so good, so good, so good. AL West. All right, let's get into it. Athletics last. They're a joke. They're actually bad. You don't want to.
I'll try to give some positive spins if you want.
I'll just complain for a second. They're a bad team. They're in a terrible spot. I don't know if they're moving to Vegas or not. I guess they kind of are, but like it's bad. Everything's bad. You don't want to root against players, but you kind of want them to lose just so someone will care. I mean, Athletics fans, salute to y'all for still being fans. I like the little boycott stuff y'all did last year. Couldn't really figure out exactly what was going on. You were like golden games and then not. Anyways, they're bad.
Right.
I will give one positive. Moneyball, great movie. Love it. I've been addicted to the song in it. It's called The Show. So I was out the show. I'll send you that later. It's just been stuck in my head for about 3 weeks now. And
spoiler alert about the show.
That's my.
It also has to do with the song, not MLB The Show. Niall Horan, part of One Direction, or used to be, obviously. I could be wrong. His latest album was called The Show, and that's what he's calling his tour. My girlfriend's a big fan, or was a big fan of 1D, big fan of Niall, and she got us tickets to go to The Show tour. So, music, The Show. All right, so I'll give Athletics fans. What?
How has that not been done before? Shouts out to that guy.
Shouts out. So I'll give Athletic fans some things to be excited about. That's fair. You don't know. Someone might be in Las Vegas just gearing up.
If you're an Athletics fan, you shouldn't be listening to baseball content.
I mean, what do they have, Zachary? They don't have the Raiders anymore.
Plus 20,000 odds. That's crazy.
I say sprinkle. No, no balls. You know that little Minecraft meme where you're like pickaxing towards the diamonds, and then you turn away right before you get there?
No.
Look, I'm no expert. Please take my advice for granted, like just with a pinch of salt. But I say there's no harm in putting 100 on them. Please don't do
I would.
that. That's losing money. That's losing money. I take it back. All right. Anyways, to be excited about, Zach Galoff is. I think he's a stud. I think at second base, he could start for at least 10 other teams in the major leagues. He's so good. I'm huge on Zach Galoff this year.
I just thought you were going to just say a certain name, but thank you for not.
But yeah, Estuary Ruiz, he gets on base and he steals bases. That's all I have to say about him. Shea Langoliers, he's about an average hitter for a catcher. And Brent Rooker hit bombs.
Oh, shout out Seth Brown. Good name.
Shouts out Seth Brown.
I have one thing.
JP Sears is a good little lefty. He's not an ace, but he is their ace, and maybe he can be an ace. Kind of old to really take that next leap, maybe, but it's a pitcher, so you never really know. They're kind of weird. That's all the. Oh, and I like their color scheme. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have one of the worst color combos that work, so it kind of looks good. Like it doesn't make sense why those colors go together, but they do.
It does, and I like their old logo of the elephant. That's cool.
Yeah. But
Old logos, they have one of the best.
I will say this. Last thing I'll say on that. I wish I was not like an elephant when it comes to athletic because I don't remember anything about them. All right, fourth.
It's good.
I think we got
Okay. I agree. The Los Angeles Angels. You know, even with Ohtani, the team just was not what it was supposed to be. You know, they still have Mike Trout, and I'm hoping for a fully healthy Mike Trout year. We need it. I love Mike Trout. Forcing. I love Mike Trout. I wish him nothing but the best. Love that man. Philly. Until he died, like Philadelphia, not Phillies. I wish. Let's not get into that. I might tear up. I think Logan O'Hoppe, speaking of Phillies, is a good young catcher. I think he's ready to take that next step. I think Shanuel is really good. Hey, roll humps. Zach Neto, baby.
Oh, I couldn't tell what you were doing. It was off the screen. Oh, you're
Oh.
knocking. Let me say who's there. Oh.
Wait, you can't? Can you see my hand?
No.
Can you see my other hand? Can you see my thumb right now?
Yeah. No. Yes.
I'm kind of learning the dimensions of what you can see right now. That's kind of wild.
Well, I just have to say it the way it's for the local recording. So
you can't see it right here?
okay. This is.
Can you see that?
Can we continue?
Dang. All right. Yeah. I don't think the Angels are bad. I just want to say that. I think that the other three teams are just really, really freaking good. People think that the Angels are going to fall off heavy because of no Shohei, but I still think they're a good ball club. I think it's just, man, this division. That's why I say this top four is just stronger than the AL East top four, because, man, I still think they're a good team, but I don't see a world where they don't finish fourth, even with Mike Trout having a fully healthy season. Like, it's just, yeah.
All right, I'll keep my Angels recap short. Mike Trout plays a full season, 140 plus games. They're going to be worth watching, and they're going to hit. I don't trust their pitching whatsoever. They're starting pitching specifically. I don't know what they're doing overall.
That's fair. I think Detmers is good.
What are we talking about? Look at the three lineups he has to face in this division. I agree with you.
That's fair. That is fair.
If Trout, for whatever reason, is not in this lineup, this team is down the list of teams I even care to watch. They have some exciting players, but I'm not in on the Angels. The one thing I do respect about them, and maybe it wasn't the smart decision, but if you have Shohei Ohtani, it seemed like he wasn't completely out on coming back. At least last year they did what they could. They actually spit to try to keep him. Maybe you should have done that 5 years ago. Just a thought. I'm out on the Angels primarily due to their division. I think it's a cool thought experiment. We can do it later. If they were in the AL Central, where would you have them? I think that's a fun little game we can play later on. But they're not.
I'd have to look at my metrics.
They're not. They're in the AL West. But again, that's facing those three teams.
My power rankings.
These are three of the best teams in the league that we're getting to. So I don't want to spend too much time on things.
I knew where I'd have them in the AL Central. Do you want me to say it?
Sure.
All right, well, that would make 6 teams, and I would have them third, according to my power rankings.
So still above the Tigers. Detroit, I'm sorry.
Kansas City, I'm sorry that he hates y'all so much. Anyways, yeah. I think there's one more reason to be excited about the Angels, not just Mike Trout. Give Zach Neto some love.
I love Zach.
Go Hawks.
I don't dislike the team.
You said if Mike Trout gets injured, there's no reason to watch him. I just disagree. I like Zach Neto. Okay.
I'm subscribed to Neto at bats. I'll watch those. I don't want
subscribe.
To watch the
like and subscribe Neto at bats.
Yeah, if you've waited to this
and this podcast too,
comment Neto ABs. That's NETO ABS. Neto abs.
Neto abs. He probably just got a good set.
You think we have
these three of abs?
You think we have these three the same?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Which means we probably do.
Look, I do want to give these teams their due. So, again, we're going to go a little over an hour here, guys. Sorry about it. These three teams deserve a little more time. Time flies when you're talking baseball. Hey, hit this.
Dude, bring the heater. I'm singing it. Dude, all right.
Watch it, Ted.
He's throwing a 93 curveball? That's crazy. Number 3. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, I want to preface. No, I'm not going to preface anything. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Your World Series champions, Texas Rangers. Number 3.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Number 2. No, I'm just kidding. I think that the Rangers are really good. I just, obviously they won the World Series, but that's more like a postseason thing, Regular season doesn't matter, in a way. Does Eovaldi have the same year that he had?
That's a Phillies fan if I've ever heard it. Regular season.
I mean, I would rather for postseason success than regular season.
Well, obviously, I'm just saying, you've trained your brain to think that, okay.
I mean, it's hard for a Reds fan to even think about what the postseason means. So, I think that...
That's why I want to know what the regular season is.
Obviously, Simeon and J-Rock are super exciting players. Great players. Chill. My mom watches this.
Oh, that looked bad, didn't it? Full contact. Oh. It was supposed to be a Vulcan change. See? V-grip.
But yeah, that's all I really have to say. I think they're still really good. Jonah Heim's exciting too. I love switch hitting catchers. I just love switch hitters in general.
Their lineup is great. They hit.
Okay, we could back off on the great talk.
Great.
I mean, Foscue is an exciting rookie for this year, but Ezekiel Duran doesn't really do it for me in short. And then Tavares, again, switch hitter gang. I'm not too sure about him. Josh Young, yeah, I mean, he hits bombs, but it's not very consistent. I don't know, man. I like the Rangers. I mean, I have them third. Well, yeah, I already said him and Simeon are going to be studs.
Evan Carter?
I mean, you don't listen.
Langford?
Yeah, Evan Carter, if he can replicate what he did in the postseason, I agree. I think he will. I think he'll be good. I think you're turning this into a diss on the Rangers, but really it's just about how gas I think the top 2 teams are.
That's fair. Dude, I've not even said where I have any teams right. I'm just saying their lineup hits. I don't trust their pitching to hold up this year. And there is the realistic aspect. Making a World Series, you play later in the year. Things are different. The team after, you're different now. You're the World Series champ. I also have the Texas Rangers third. I wasn't going against you.
You have them third?
Yes.
Dude. Corey Seager? Marcus Semien. Evan Carter.
Right. It's not because
Jonah Heim.
That. You made it seem as if you weren't really that soft. I love
Alex Garcia is on steroids, it looks like.
He probably is.
He's huge.
Probably why they're finishing third. He's getting popped. Dude, their lineup
Wait,
excites me almost as much as any lineup. I love
can you,
watching their at bats.
can you see me from here?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't know.
I don't trust their pitching to get them through the regular season. And I think there's obviously two other teams I just trust more.
The pitching scares me. I mean, when is DeGrom coming back? Scherzer.
DeGrom,
Are they coming back?
I'd be more surprised than not if DeGrom starts 10 games this year.
I truly do not know because
I don't
if
think
they're not
starting
here or they don't pitch that much, dude, their starting rotation worries me.
That's exactly what, dude. You're not listening. That's what I said.
Dude, did you know they have Corey Seager and Marcus Semien?
It was fun doing this podcast with you for a few weeks. It really was.
All right, I'm good. Jacob DeGrom eyes August 2024 for his return. That's
Yeah,
a long ways away, bro.
that's like, has he ever came back when he said he was going to do this a career?
But also, when he does come back, you're only going to get a few starts before the next problem, which I hope's not true. I hope he can come back and actually pitch.
think, depending on how things are going, I'd like to see him out of the bullpen. DeGrom just coming in for 2, 3. Whew.
That'd be
All
a
right.
scary man to see run onto the field from the bullpen. I would hate to be a hitter seeing that.
Imagine him having to run that far and not get hurt. All right.
That's crazy.
That was a little disrespectful. Oh, man. He really got a World Series ring.
Hey, shouts out.
Yeah. Look, it's not even against the Rangers. It's just the circumstances they're pitching. I love this lineup, though. I wanted that to be clear. That's all I was saying.
I do love the lineup. It's the pitching scares me.
The Rangers
We're saying the same thing.
The Rangers are not the favorite to win this division and make sure win.
Are they second?
They are second.
Okay,
So
that's fine because I think one team.
fall off.
I think one team is being a little disrespected by the masses. And with that being said, let me talk about my 1-2. I have winning the AL West, the Houston Astros. They're gonna win it.
Boring.
I think they're gonna win it. They're so good. They're still so good. You think they have fall off because they're not like, I don't know.
I hope it
Like
comes
you
down
would
to the end of the
think.
season. I hope it comes down to the end of the season between these 2 or 3 teams again. That was fun.
They're so good. Yainer Diaz behind the dish. You have Altuve, Pena, Bregman, Kyle Tucker, Jordan. Their
Doesn't do it.
lineup is crazy. Framber Valdez
Doesn't
is,
do it for me.
I mean, he's a Cy Young candidate. Like, he's so good. You have Verlander coming back at some point. He's still good. Josh Hader, you ever heard of him? He's a lefty that just joined their bullpen, along with Ryan Presley, who is already good, righty. Like, in these big moments where they need a guy, they're like, do we need a lefty or a righty? Because we have top 5 in both. Like, it's crazy, their bullpen. This team, I underestimated how, like, I knew they were going to be good because it's the Astros, but I really underestimated how good I think they're going to be. Like, I mean, getting into my power rankings, I'll go ahead and say it. I have them top 3.
I'm going to say that means you have them third, or else why would you have said the top 3?
I do have them third.
That was a terrible decision by you.
To have them third?
No, just like...
To say it? I don't think it's like a spoiler.
No, I'm just saying, if you say you have them top 3, you should have just said you have them third. If you had them second, you would have said top 2. If you had them first, you would have said number 1.
Or would I?
Okay. Anyways.
I do have them third. Go ahead.
I agree with everything you said. They're a well put together team. Look, this past year, I said it was going to be the year the Chiefs did not win their division. Didn't really believe that. Then the playoffs came. They weren't even playing well. You know what I said? The Bills are going to actually beat them. They're the same team.
There's some teams you just have to believe in.
And here's
no matter
the thing.
what.
This baseball team is better than the Chiefs are in football.
I agree.
Getting Josh Hader should be outlawed. And not actually, I don't mean that, but they're back of the game when they're starters. You just need to give them 5, 6 innings. I know Hader's only going to be pitching 1 inning. He made a big deal about that. Also, there's a lot of weird stuff looking into this. He wanted to sign with the Rangers, but because of the TV deals and the money, he didn't want to wait around to see because they had to see how much they were going to get to pay him. Think about that. He could be a Ranger right now, and I feel different about them a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Josh Hader,
I think them getting the Ash, like them,
he's a difference.
Hader just shores up. Hey, we're not just content. We're gonna keep going. And I had them winning. I wanted the Mariners to win. If I was doing fan vote, I have Mariners, Rangers, then Astros. I'm not even against the Astros. It's kind of impressive. The Mariners are just young, fun. The Mariners lineup is kind of too up and down. It's not consistent enough for me.
Fully agree.
They really went like new school analytics, just like I actually was just watching their TVP earlier today, and they shouts out John Boy Media Baseball.
Shouts out.
But they brought up the point, like, they just had a lot of guys that struck out a ton, and they just got guys that struck out a little less now, but they're still boom or bust. But they are very fun.
Shouts out switch hitting catcher.
I mean,
Raleigh.
North Carolina.
I live in Raleigh.
He's from Raleigh. Why his name's that? Look it up.
Okay.
But I love the Mariners pitching.
Second best rotation in baseball.
It's definitely the best.
Tied for first best.
Definitely top first. 3. I agree with you to have first. But
second. 1B behind a 1A.
In American League, you have them first?
Number 1 pitching rotation.
Okay. Their top 3 is insane. I love watching Luis Castillo. I mean, shouts out Reds. You're talking about a guy that you just miss being a part of your daily life.
He's so good. He's so good. And he's so consistent.
And then, who they have as their next pitcher? I'm blanking on the name.
George Kirby.
Okay, George Kirby, yes, but they're
Elon University. Logan Gilbert.
Thank you. Those 3 are just, I mean,
they're so good.
In a playoff, they have to make the playoffs, obviously. But you have those 3 guys going on the mound. I mean, and they were in it last year. They really were. I do think there's a little bit of the fear, kind of like with the Orioles, of like these young, fun teams. Like the Astros have been there, done that. I really, really wish I had the guts to take the Mariners. But honestly, it's crazy to not pick the Astros. 7 straight American League Championship series.
Crazy.
I know
they're going to make it 8.
But like, you don't go get Josh Hader just for the postseason. Like,
it's crazy. I will say, part of their pitching rotation also at 4 and 5, they have the 3 studs, and then it's 2 guys that are super young. I'm not sure if they exceeded their rookie limits. They might have, or one of them might have, but they're like, if they did, they barely exceeded the rookie limits. It's Bryce Miller and Brian Wu.
Bryce Miller, yeah. Dude,
I'm excited about them 2. Those 2 are really good pitchers. And
by the way, shouts out both of them, especially Bryce. Very, very crucial for our fantasy season last year. We had injuries. Picked him up.
Yeah, facts. But it's just like, I love the move of having the 2 young guys come in as your 4-5 instead of, getting that older veteran that will give you a consistent 4.4 ERA, 4.5 ERA. It's like, dude, try it. Try these guys. They're MLB ready. Try them. I really like it. Like you were saying about their lineup being a little too up and down. I think that's the only thing holding them back because their pitching is that good. But it also has to be said, J-Rod is an absolute freaking stud. I mean,
he's already top 5 MVP preseason, right?
Absolutely. Like, he is so good, and he's only going to get better. He's 23, Zachary. Hold on. Zachary, he's 23.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel good about my life. But I will
23! Dude, he's so good.
The Astros, Mariners, and Rangers are very close odds for the division as well. Astros plus 100, Rangers plus 200, Mariners plus 300. So
Mitch Garver, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, but he got a ring last year. He's going to come over, teach the Mariners how to get their ring. Then you got Cal Raleigh. I already talked about him. Switch hitting catcher. He rakes. And let's not forget, J.P. Crawford is the most underrated shortstop in the league. Like, he just is. Dude's a stud. And people are,
He's a
like,
stud.
just never talk about him.
I don't know
Never.
if I agree that he's the most underrated shortstop in the league, but I'm not like mad at you for saying. I just don't know.
Also, Jorge Polanco, switch hitter gang. He's going to be batting right there in the middle of, like, towards the top of that lineup. He's really good. Like, their line, I think it just falls off after that. Like, Mitch Haniger, you know, he's got pop in his bat. Ty France has pop in his bat. It's just, they're going to need those more bottom of the lineup guys to really get it going if they want to compete with the Astros. But their pitching is always going to keep it in them. Their pitching is so good.
At the end of the day, you just got to respect that the Astros are just like,
they're just on that different level. And
you think you got a chance, you're building this. Well, we're just going to add one of the best relievers, definitely left reliever in the entire.
Right. So we can get to the wild cards, but did you want to introduce our top 3 seeds?
Well, hang on a second. I just want to say, just to clarify, we had the exact same in the AL West and the AL East. We only had difference in the AL Central, which
it was quite different in the AL Central, at least.
If I lose my credit, you said it's the worst pick I have. At the time, I thought that was a bold statement by you, but if we have every other pick the same, then it wasn't that bold at all. I guess the NL as well. Stay tuned for the NL. Stay tuned for the wild card. We're gonna get out of here soon, but
we'll try to make the NL shorter than this. We overshot this one.
Not bad. No, we're fine.
Okay. Hey, I didn't say that. Sponsored by Sharpie, by the way. No, we're not. No, we're not. Cut that.
We're not.
I don't know why I said that.
You already said that, and it's Sharpie. You can't get rid. Remember whenever you were little, and they would say like, "Hey,
I fidget, by the way.
You can't get rid of it, dude. Permanent marker's such a joke.
Permanent marker you can get rid of so easily.
Why is it permanent?
I don't know why it's even called permanent. It's not.
When I was in 3rd grade, I drew them all right, maybe it is permanent. Okay, I don't know what I was going to say, but yes, Astros, Mariners, Rangers, Angels, Athletics, just to recap. All right, wild cards. No, let's pick the 3 wild cards. I don't know if you have this prep, but I did pick a World Series representative from the AL and NL. So I will.
I do have that prepped. Have that prepped.
So let's just go through the wild cards. Obviously, it's going to either be the second teams in our division or third. Do you have 2 teams making it from the AL Central? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, me either. So there's almost a guarantee we have 2 of the same wild cards.
I would say that's correct.
All right. So who is your wild card number 1?
A wild card number 1, and I'm going to go ahead and seed the top 3. I don't care.
True. My bad.
I'm going to have the Astros as the number 1 seed. I'm going to have the Yankees as the number 2 seed, and the Guardians as the number 3 seed. The division winners.
Okay, I have the Twins as the 3.
You know how you said your favorite movie was High School Musical?
I don't remember saying that, but okay.
You know the song "Bet on It"?
Yeah. What, of the Astros or Yankees?
What we were talking about, just the team that just you can't bet against them. It's like Mahomes and the Chiefs; they're inevitable. That's just how they are.
Yeah, but they're not always the number 1 seed. They will
be this year.
I'm gonna agree. They have hater.
So
also,
you have the Astros, Yankees, Twins. I have the Astros, Yankees, Guardians. My number 1 wild card.
We're also NL boys, to be honest.
That's true. We are. Yeah. So don't hate on us too much.
All right, number 1 wild card.
Seattle Mariners.
Okay, I have the Baltimore Orioles.
I have the Baltimore Orioles as my number 2 wild card.
And I have the Mariners. And that's where I was getting a little confused with who I have as my number 1 overall seed. Like, that's weird mathish, but it's fine. I think the Orioles are very good.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then my number 3 wild card.
I trust the Orioles more than the Mariners. I'll say it.
I think number 3 wild card is kind of disrespectful to say that about them coming off the World Series win, but I have it as the Texas Rangers.
Wow. So you have all 3 making it from the same division.
Yep.
It's tough to do.
Which was going to happen if I didn't have 2 in the AL Central. That's 3 wild card spots, 3 divisions.
Yeah, I'm just saying those 3 teams. That's
I mean, it's tough to do, but if a second team's not making it from the AL Central, then it has to be a third team from the same division.
Right, but I'm saying that division being that good, like you didn't think Sled would step up. I have the World Series hangover being even more real. I have the Texas Rangers missing the playoffs. And my third
Blue
wildcard
Jays?
team, Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
Definitely the biggest risk I took. Woo, but
Hey, I
just
believe in the Blue Jays this year. I think they have an exciting lineup, and Gossman is
look,
the real
man.
deal.
Obviously the Astros are kind of the outlier in this, but like, I guess you could say the Braves like technically made, but like, I don't know. I think some teams like the Rangers were not like built for the long haul. They saw an opportunity, went all in, as you should, won the World Series. Now it's like, I don't know. I still think they're very good, and I love their lineup. They're not making the playoffs. That's my bold pick. All right, Teddy.
All right.
So another difference there. Do we get a point for each of those, I guess?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. And we can discuss the story later. But World Series representative, who do you have making to the American League? Well, we're still under 115, bro. This is beautiful.
Who do I have making it to the World Series to represent the American League?
Wow.
Seattle Mariners, baby. Seattle Mariners. You know what matters the most in postseason baseball? Pitching.
What are you talking about, dude? This is
Pitching. Seattle Mariners. American League World Series representative. Bet on it. Don't take my advice. I don't know how much trouble we can get in now that sports betting is legal in North Carolina, but I don't know what else to say. Don't sue me.
sorry. I just want to be off the screen as you were. I hope you guys haven't tuned out. We're still both here. So let me get this.
Shouts out Sharpie.
Can we join back on the actual sponsor now? Actually, the last 30 minutes they finalized the deal.
I didn't say sponsor. Not sponsor, but
ironically, we signed it digitally so we couldn't use a chart. So let me get this straight. You don't have the Mariners winning the division because the Astros are the number one seed in the whole thing.
correct.
In the World Series.
Correct.
You really are anti-regular season.
I'm not anti-regular season. I love the regular season. I think it's a different ballgame when you get to the postseason. It's different baseball being played. It just is. Fact or fiction?
This is a lose-lose for me.
Dude, it's a different game in the postseason.
What was the
It just
question?
is.
Yes, fact. Sorry, I thought you were.
Yeah, it's just a different game. And so
I
I
thought you were
think the long haul, the 162, the Astros are going to be the most consistent, and they're going to be the ones that show out. And I think when it comes to the postseason ball, I just believe in the Mariners.
Here's what I was saying. I thought you were doing one of those like heads I win, tails you lose things. I didn't know it was an actual question about postseason baseball. Freaking blew that past you.
Yeah, you did. I wasn't even ready.
All right, World Series representative for me. I have the Baltimore Orioles, baby. Let's go!
Roll Thumps, baby. Roll Thumps.
Let's go!
I'd love to see Cedric in the World Series. That'd be so hype. Him, Adley, Gunnar, Jackson Holiday.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Orioles. Yankees choke again. Astros finally come through. They have to leave Cedric in for a lefty on lefty at bat against Hader, and he comes through to go to the World Series. Oh my
Hader's
gosh!
pissed. She's like, I should have went to the Rangers.
Yeah, and then the Blue Jays are like, eh? All right, that's all we have for you guys today.
They lose their passports and they can't even go to Game 7. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Sign us out, Zachary. We're at 115. This is crazy. Why is it this long? If you're still watching, thanks.
Hey,
I guess.
No, this was
Please
good.
don't hate on me.
Quality pot. Much better than the AL Central draft. Shouts out all the AL Central fans. Hope you guys live forever. Bird gang.